Hello everyone, my name is Baloo, this is my sketchbook, and this video is really special. After careful consideration, I decided to dedicate this whole video to you. To you, my beautiful viewer. The one who decided to give this video a chance and clicked on it and is watching it right now. Yes? Yeah, you. So let's start the drawing living failures from Bloodborne. Roll the intro. Yeah. Before we go too deep in the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Engage with the algorithm as you can and want to. And check all the links down in the description below. Patreon and all other socials. Your support is really appreciated. Now, I know, it was a low-hanging fruit, that joke, but I had to do it at least once throughout the whole video. Just as well as I had to do something related to Bloodborne. Now, if you ask me, what is Bloodborne? First of all, what are you doing with your life? Second of all, it's the best game ever created. If I had to explain the Bloodborne, I have a hard time, but it's about a game where so-called scholars find something they don't understand at all and try to use it in the way they think they understand, but in the end, shocker, it backfires badly. As good old Hunter said once, "Beasts are all over the show. You'll be one of them, sooner or later." That's my impersonation of Cashcoin, Father Cashcoin from the game.
Oh, yeah. Pale blood.
You wake up as an outsider, in a dream, and with having no other choice than to cooperate, you join the hunt. As an old lady once said, a hunter must hunt. The game is amazing, and if you have not experienced it before this, you really have to. For a long time, I wanted to do something Bloodborne related, and I was not sure what. And that's why this guy comes into play. And I know, oh my god, another MTG card. Who would have known that? But what can I do? I love combining things that I love. So in this way, I can combine something that I need into a magic card, which is something I like, with having the chance to do a fan art of the game that I absolutely adore. So technically, oh, and also making a video out of it. So technically, I'm killing a whole flock of birds with one stone, not just two. Wow. This is one of my favorite cards, Homunculus Horde, which, if done right, can go out of hand really quickly. It makes copies of itself. So during the games, naturally, I require a lot of copies of this card. But why have a card that's a normal copy of the card when you can have a special card? Wink, wink. So after some thoughts and thinking, well, little thinking actually, I decided to make my own version of Homunculus Horde, but give it a little Bloodborne art treatment. To do that, we first had to do a little research. Bloodborne has a lot of really beautiful bosses. When I first saw them, I was drooling over them. It did not take me long to find the perfect boss for this, which was Living Failures. Concept toward the boss is simple. There's this gloopy guy who in time will spawn a lot more of the same gloopy guys. Basically what my Homunculus Horde does. They look like them as well, minus the eyes, so it's basically match made in heaven. Or in a dream. There was another boss that kind of looks like the Homunculus Horde, Celestial Emissary, but I don't know, for some reason the failure felt like the perfect fit. I don't know why though. You tell me. Once the idea was all set, we were right at the drawing board. But that step did not take long because I already had the composition from the get-go. I just had to put the three of them in the right proportions, so that step closed. And the prep step began. The step where you make the sketch and decide the colors and all. But after that step, I decided to go offensive. See, up Until this point, I was doing every illustration on A4, which is a manageable size. It can give you all the details you want to. You still can go like in small details. My printer is a A4 size, but for some reason, I was like, nah, let's go big. Boy, was I stupid. See, what's bigger than A4? A3. Not only did I have to print out two A4 papers and align them somehow, I also had to use a glass and a lamp to trace them over onto A3 size. And I know there are easier ways to do this, but I don't have a light board, whatever you call it, for tracing, so here I was. Okay, I know I might be over-dramatizing a little bit. It was not that crazy and hard, but still, I could have decided to go with A4 size to make my life easier, but no! Dealing with this step began the step that I would personally call, oh my god, I'm freaking out, oh no! I love watercolors, but that does not mean I'm 100% comfortable with them. Plus, I decided to do a night sky. The boss does this magical attack at some point where the sky becomes dark and you see galaxies and meteors start to shower on you as a player. And of course I had to do that. And I don't know if you know this, but I am nowhere at being good at doing the night skies. Nowhere near. It took so long and it was so scary and I was really anxious about the whole thing. It probably would have been easier if I did the A4, but no! During my freaking out phase, my art directors came in, checked on me, how I was doing. They approved what they saw. They approved the concept and everything, so my little work became a little easier, and I just continued on the process. This was the piece where I was bound into using gouache. And let's say me and gouache, we have not met since second grade. That was a reunion. The biggest issue I had was mixing colors. Pink, to be exact. I know what generally makes a pink pink, but it was not just working out at all. I did get some interesting surprises, though, for which I am grateful. I do have to mention one of my biggest mistakes in this piece. For reasons unknown to me, I accidentally managed to make the background in the same hue as the failures, which messed up my values in fully. I was fighting for my life, literally. I was trying a lot to make the creatures pop more, and pencils did not help at all. It's still a little hard for me to get the right values from the get-go with traditional media. In digital, it's really easy. Oh, you want to make something slightly lighter? Done. Just click levels, you got it. In here, I do not have a click this button, fix the problem type of situation. So I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to try it again and again and again and again. And to be honest, it felt like playing Bloodborne again. I don't know. There's something about going to the boss, and maybe not even the boss, going through the level and fighting the mobs and just dying to the mob again and again, and then having to respawn at the checkpoint and going through the level again to die again somewhere and go through it again until you are so good at going through that level that you don't even think about, and you're doing that subconsciously. You know where each creature is, where they are hiding, where's the item, or maybe where's the shortcut, and all of that. And then get into the boss and going through the boss struggle until you learn the patterns and timing so well that it becomes this kind of a dance. That's what makes me love Souls-like, and I feel like it feels the same with art as well. You do one thing again over and over and over again. You fail a lot of times until you just find the ways that work for you, to find the solutions, and it just clicks for you. And then it becomes this subconscious thing that you don't even think about and just make the marks on the paper. even thinking about that gave me some goosebumps. I love Souls-likes. I think that kind of mentality is what helped me not to hate the things that I make. The final illustrations, if they don't look the way I want them to, I'm not like, oh, this is the garbage. Because it feels like it's the boss fight. Boss. It's the boss fight where you fail, you make the marks, you fail at them, and you just repeat until you are so good at it that you are the one who's bullying the boss. I had so many moments while playing Souls-likes, like any Souls-like Bloodborne, well, not Bloodborne, it's not Souls-like, but like Lies of P, Wukong, Blasphemous 1 and 2, and like many games where I'm in the New Game Plus or New Game Plus boss, and I go to the boss who absolutely went over me for the first time, and I go to them and I'm the boss, and they are the challenger. And this like Gojo versus Sukuna, you are the challenger type of scenario. It's fun. But I think I talked enough about this, so let's get back to the painting. So, throughout the whole process, I hated everything. No, I'm joking. I was scared throughout the process, but it was full of excitement, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, because I didn't have all the answers to all the questions. I did try to fix some of the problems, like value problems. I tried to fix them with gouache, with the pencils. I also tried to rest a little and maybe find the solution while I was resting and not looking at the piece. I did find the solution. I used the not watercolor pencil, the normal pencil to give the outline to the creatures, which gave them somewhat of a glow, which helped a little, but we take what we can. My favorite part about this whole piece is probably the sunflower, which, let's be honest, doesn't really look like sunflowers at all. I decided to make flower field the most vibrant part of the illustration. In game, it is not this vibrant or vibrant at all. It has more yellowy hue, where here I gave it oranges and reds and blues. Bloodborne is not a vibrant game at all, in general. It's a dark and gloomy game. It's a horror game, and it plays in that theme really well. And I know some purists will see this illustration and be like, oh, well, that's not Bloodborne, it's too colorful. And to that, I know it's too colorful, but I wanted to make it colorful. I love seeing colorful illustrations, and if I have a chance to use bright colors in the illustration, I sure as hell will do so. That said, I do want to make a Bloodborne illustration again, which has its natural colors. But yeah, that's something for the future. As with the most illustrations I do, I also added ink on the lines, because washing them over and over again, the lines get too desaturated and sometimes even get lost. And it's nice to have some blacks in the most dark areas. After 2 days of hacking and slashing at the illustration and having the feeling of going through the streets of Yarnum again, the living failures, well, done. I do like how it turned out. I did a little tweaking in digital after I was done with this piece. The living failures needed a little bit more lighting up, which I wasn't able to do in traditional, so I went to the Photoshop and with levels just made it a little bit more brighter. And the background, the sky itself, a little bit more darker. Talking about the sky, I think I went a little bit overboard with the watercolors and noise it had, so I also, while doing the value fixes, I also made it less noisy and calmed it a little bit. But with that, it was done. My MTG card, which I'll surely be using when I make a proxy, with the Bloodborne boss. Another piece in traditional, which I am so happy about. I hope you liked how it turned out. I know some of the sections of the illustration could have been done better, but just like in fights with the bosses, the moves can be executed and performed much better. But that's why you learn. And with that said, I bid you all farewell. Until next time, good hunting. May you find the peace in the waking world.